Yes, guys. So half an hour, we'll be discussing about the calculations because that play a crucial role in you doing questions faster. Guys, in mathematics, there are, even statistics for that matter, problems, if you see the volume of questions, okay, most of the questions, if you solve in a conventional method, that's not possible. Okay, you need to do a lot of memory calculations, right? I'm sure most of you know memory calculations. You know or don't know? How many of you know? One, two, three. Okay, don't worry. So memory calculations play a vital role in doing the calculation faster in the exam. Okay. Otherwise, solving one question will take 2 minutes, 3 minutes easily. And you know the time allotted for each question is roughly, exactly 72 seconds, because 2 hours, 100 questions, 120 minutes, 100 questions means 1.2 minutes for each question. So 72 seconds. So just 10, 12 seconds more than a minute. 12 seconds you need to understand the question itself. And 1 minute, if you solve it conventionally, it's no way that you're going to solve all 100 questions. That's not possible. So another half an hour or 45 minutes, whatever calculations you're going to do, please learn any doubts you ask me today itself. Make sure you learn, right? Because if you do this properly, 30% of your preparation is done. Trust me. 30% of your preparation will be done if you learn calculations, right? So you will only know the difference, right? Are you ready? Ready with the calculators? First of all, I want you to check in your calculator, press an AC button, in your calculators, and on the display, do you see M? Do you see M? Not in most of the calculators you see a M. There are some calculator where you see a M by pressing an AC button. How many of your calculators has this? Okay, only few calculators, right? So what I would suggest is better replace that by GT512WT, this model. Okay, it costs you around 120, 130 bucks. That's it. Okay. So if you buy this model, what will happen is this memory issue will not be there. Every time you see, if you have this M on the display on pressing AC, let me tell you what is this M is. M is memory. Okay, so whatever calculations you have done before, memory calculations you have done before, those values will be there in the memory itself. Keeping this memory on, and if you do the calculations, answer is gonna be wrong, because the value which is there in the memory, it is not clear, right? Without clearing the memory values, if you do the memory calculations, definitely answers are going to be wrong. So before doing any calculation for today, I can tell you, so you have to clear this M for memory. So how to clear memory is, to clear memory, double press MRC, and then AC, and press AC only once. Do you see M on the display still? It went off. So please remember, before you do any memory calculation, make sure you clear the memory. Not only few calculator has this problem, right? So you have to clear the memory all the time. But what happens is in the exam, so you'll be in a hurry to solve the questions. Suppose, let's say you have forgotten to clear the memory and you are doing the calculation, and you know how to solve the question, and you'll be behind that question only. You say you're not getting the answer, but you know what to do, you know how to do, but your calculator is not giving you the right answer because of what? Memory issues. So better you buy a new calculator of this model, or your friend's calculator, whatever model where the memory issue is not there. So that calculator you buy, better that. What is the model of that calculator? CT 512. That's it. CT512, this model. Okay, so please buy this. Okay, so where no memory problem, any problem for that matter. All right, so shall we start with the calculation straight away? Yes. Okay. All right, guys, in statistics and even in mathematics, you come across calculations like 52 into 17 minus 65 into 25 plus 36 into 19 minus 67 into 9, let's say. This is the calculation that you need to perform. This will be one of the steps in solving the question, let's say. Okay, so how do you basically carry out this calculation? Basically, you do what? 52 into 17. What is the result of it? I want everyone to say this. 8 884. 65 into 25, 1625. All right, 36 into 19, 684. Then 67 into 9, 603. Yeah? All right, so what do you do now? You add them or subtract them according to the signs. So please feed the values. 884 minus 1625 plus 684 minus 603 minus 660 is the result. But see, it looks very simple, right? But if you write these things and again feed the values in the calculator, it takes a lot of time. So this is where you can save a lot of time. So this step, whatever I've encircled, that you are not supposed to write on the paper. So you should be getting the answer in one step in the calculator itself without having to write anything on the paper. So how do we do it basically? So as I said, in most of the in some calculator there is a memory issue. You have to clear the memory. How do you clear the memory? Double tap on MRC, then press AC button. Make sure there is no M on the display. Clear? Clear? So now you feed the value 52 into 17. Please understand, guys, whatever within the bracket, that has to be typed first. According to the priority, whatever within the bracket, that has to be typed first. So 52 into 17 you would type, and then see the sign before the bracket. See, before the bracket, there is no sign. That means to say it is positive value. Yes or no? So if you want to store this, see this value 884, you're not going to write on the paper. Rather, you're going to store it in the calculator only. As positive or negative, it's a positive number. Yes or no? So you're going to store this as a positive value by pressing what? M plus button. There is a M plus button. Let me tell you why M plus. M plus lets you store the value in the memory as a positive value. So M plus means what? To store the value as positive. So have you understood? If it is positive, if you want to store it, press M plus button. Then guys, you're not supposed to press a negative button. I said what? Whatever within the bracket to be typed first, then you have to see the sign before the brackets. So what do you type now? 65 into 25. Okay. Have you typed 65 into 25 and see the sign before the brackets? It's negative. Currently cleared second PU, right? I mean, yes. Okay. Have calculators? Calculator? Simple calculator. You have to get it. So somehow manage with her. Okay. Guys, 65 into 25. This time around, it's a negative sign. So you're going to store it by pressing what? M minus button, because M minus lets you store the value as a negative in the memory. Is it clear? So M minus is for to store the value as negative. Then guys, you're not going to press positive button. What to type first? Whatever within the bracket. So 36 into 19 you type. Press what this time? M plus. Why? Because it's a positive number. Right. Then what? 67 into 19. What is that you have to press now? M minus. Guys, what is that your calculator displaying now? 603. Is that the answer? No, right? So you have to put a mantra now. MRC. Press a button MRC. By the moment you press MRC, what will happen? Your calculator displays whatever you have stored. I mean, the result of whatever you have stored. So what does MRC basically means? Memory recall. So you kept on storing the values. So by the moment you press MRC, whatever you stored in the memory will be recalled from a memory as a result. So by the moment you press MRC button in your calculator, it displays the answer minus 660, isn't it? All of you got it? Yes. So memory calculation play a very, very, very important role in maths as well as statistics. So everyone got it? Everyone got it? Yes. Once again, you want to do it, and please don't search for buttons in the calculator, guys. You must know which number is where, right? And while texting someone, so you will not even see which letter is where, right? You know all 26 letter where exactly they are placed, right? Even closing eyes only you can type yes or no. That much speed you must have to do the calculation faster. So don't search for numbers, feed the values, believe in yourself. And there's always a check button in your calculator. You can press that and to see what values you have typed. You know that? If you press a check button, you can know what values you have typed. If you have any doubts, right? Is it clear? Everyone, shall we move on to the next level of calculation? Okay. Guys, if you want to store the value in the memory as a positive value, which button you're going to press? M plus. First what to do? Type the value first. Then store it by pressing M plus. Okay. If there is a negative value and you want to store it, what do you do? M minus. If you want to recall the value from the memory, what do you do? MRC. MRC means memory recall. To clear the memory, what do you do? Double tap on MRC and press AC button. Not all the calculator will have this issue, only a few, right? Is this clear, everyone? So, having seen this memory calculations, let's move on to the next level of calculation. Say, if you want to raise the power of a number to n, to raise the power of a number to n. Okay, so what to do basically? Type the number, press into, and keep pressing equal, until the counter number is n plus 1. Type the number, press into, and keep pressing what? Equal until the counter number is n plus 1. Suppose say, if you want to know the value of 5 power 4, okay? So basically 5 power 4 means what? 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. If you do like this, in time value of money chapter, you will have to raise the power of a number even till 36 sometime, okay? If you do 2 power 36, 2 into 2 into 2, exam will get over by then. Right? So what to do? Just type the number. What is the number here? 5, right? So type the number. What is that I have said? Press into and keep pressing equal. You have to keep pressing equal. See, the moment you press equal to for the first time, you can see there is a number appearing on the top of your display. Yes, top left of your display. What is the number that you see? By pressing equal to, it is 3. Please understand that counter number, you have to press equal to until the counter number becomes what? 1 more than actual power. What is the actual power here? 4. So as I said here, it should be what? N plus 1. So actual power is 4. So 4 plus 1 is how much? 5. So keep pressing equal until it is 5. So what is the value it is displaying? 625. In some calculator, value doesn't change after 25. Is there any calculator? There is one calculator where the value doesn't change after 25. Is there any calculator like that? All your calculators giving the same answer, 625? That's fine. If there is an issue, I'll tell you the solution for that. So after raising the power to 2, that means 25, 5 square is 25. Even if you press equal to, the value doesn't change. If anybody's calculator is having that issue, what to do is, instead of pressing into only once, you have to press into twice in that calculator actually. Into twice, and the counter number should be 2 more than actual power. Okay, so those who are watching the recordings, for them I'm saying, if your calculator has an issue, so if the value doesn't change after the square, so you have to press into twice, then press equal to until the counter number is 2 more than actual number. In most of the calculator, you'll be pressing into only once, and the counter number should be 1 more than actual power. So can you do one more calculation quickly? So tell me 2 power 12 quickly, how much it is? Very good, 4096. Clear, everyone? Okay. You're copying this down? Everyone? If you know it, not required. Okay, there are some points where you have to really copy it. Okay, this is not required actually. Okay, if you have understood, it's enough. You want to copy this down? Not required, right? Okay, fine. Guys, let's do the next level of calculation that you see in statistics or mathematics. Say you have 15.25 in the numerator, okay, and in the denominator 2.25 the whole cube, let's say. So you want to divide this. Basically, what you do in the calculator, you find out 2.25 the whole cube, right? How to find 2.25 the whole cube? Type 2.25, press into, keep pressing equal until the counter number is what? 4. So tell me what is the result of it? 11.39. Then what you do? You divide it. 15.25 divided by 11.39. Please do it. How much it is? 1.339. This is not the thing that you'll be doing in the exam. So say tata bye bye to this approach. So what you basically do is type this 15.25, everyone. And in the denominator, what is that base number? 2.25. Type 2.25. Typed. Now, what is the power of the denominator? 3, right? So press equal to so many number of times as equal to what? The power in the denominator. What is the power? 3, right? So press equal to 3 times. How much? 15.25 you typed. Numerator as it is you type. Denominator is 2.25, right? Type 2.25. And what is the power of this denominator? 3, right? So press equal to so many number of times. That means 3 times you have to press equal. So when you are dividing a number where the denominator is having any power, so you have to type the number only once and press the equal to so many number of times as equal to what? The power. Suppose had the power been 4 in the denominator, you should be pressing equal to how many times? 4 times. If the power had been 2, press equal to twice. Is it clear? Everyone, you got the same answer? You got the same answer? So this will avoid you writing this. If you write this, basically what you do, guys, 11.39 is not the exact answer. 39 some digits followed by it, yes or no? So you will not get the accurate answer actually, because you are restricting yourself writing the number of digits to 2 digits or 3 digits after the decimal point. Right. If you do if you do the calculation which I told you, explained just now like this, you get the exact answer because you're not writing any value. Everything in the calculator only you're carrying out. Right. So all digits after the decimal point are considered. Have you understood? And this is only when this calculation to be done only when if the denominator is having only one term and there is a power associated with it. Is it clear? Suppose you may be having a doubt. What if there are 2 terms in the denominator? Say for example, 15.25 divided by 2.25 the whole square and let's say 3.65. Looks complicated. Complicated in the sense you feel that you need to write some value on paper, yes or no? But without writing anything, you can still do it. Please understand, guys, if there is a multiplication sign between the terms in the denominator, please understand, you need not multiply this, then you divide from the numerator. No. So when you have multiple terms in the denominator where the sign between the terms is multiplication, that is into, divide each term separately. What I mean to say is type 15.25 first. All right. So firstly, we have 2.25. Type 2.25 and see whether there's a power associated with it. It is there. What is the power? 2. So how many times you press equal? Twice. Please do that. Okay. So guys, by doing so, you would get the result of whatever I've encircled there. Yes or no? Now, what basically students think is there is 3.65. So 3.65 is multiplied with the denominator. Yes or no? Thinking that way, you try to multiply things. No, you're not supposed to multiply the answer with 3.65. The reason is that where is 3.65? In the denominator. If it is in denominator, you must divide only. Yes or no? If the terms are in denominator, you must divide that. So press the divide by button. What is it? 3.65. So type 3.65. You get the result. How much? 0.825. Guys, these kind of calculations, even though they are very simple, but this is where you waste a lot of time in the exam. Yes or no? you tend to write steps. So that you should avoid. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Everyone, if you learn, as I said, as I promised, 30 to 40% of your preparation will be done if you learn whatever I say in 30 to 45 minutes. Right? Clear? You will understand the importance of all this calculation when I start up with the chapters, when I do a rapid revision. Right? Okay. Shall we move on to the next level of calculation? Have you understood so far? Everyone? Any confusion? Any confusion? Please welcome. Right? Okay. What if, guys, 15.25, you want to change the value? Tell me the value. Huh? 7.35. Now, in the denominator, let's say 2.12 plus 6.35, the whole square. Now, listen, guys. If there is a positive or a negative sign between the terms in the denominator, you can't divide each term separately as we did in the previous case. In the previous case, there were terms in the denominator where there is a multiplication sign in between. In that case, you can divide each term separately. But it is not the case here because there's a sign positive. Even it could be negative also. The approach should be different. Guys, always please understand, if you want to do anything, any calculation in one step in the calculator, if you want to do any calculation in one step in the calculator, firstly, you have to solve the most complicated one. Firstly, you have to solve the most complicated one. Tell me amongst numerator and denominator, what is most complicated? Denominator. So what to be typed first, as I said, whatever within the brackets. Priority is given for what? Whatever within the brackets. So what would you type first? 2.12 plus 6.25. Okay. Guys, listen here. Now you're squaring the value. You're not dividing it actually. You're just squaring the value of 2.12 plus 6.35. So how do you square, guys? Press into, press equal. If you press equal, the counter number is what? 71.74. Guys, I told you what? If a value has to be squared, type the value, press into, press equal to only once. Press into, press equal to only once. If the number has to be squared. If the number has to be cubed, press into, press equal to twice. Number of equal to that you have to type should be 1 less than the actual power. But that is not applicable when you are dividing it. When you are dividing it, whatever is the power, so many number of times you have to press equal. But when you are raising the power of that particular number, so after into button, you have to press equal to how many times? 1 less than the actual power, because you can't keep an eye on how many times you are pressing equal. I said looking at the counter number is the best idea. But the problem with such things is, so 2.12 plus 6.35, when you type it, already the counter number would increase to 3 or 4. Yes or no? So you can't keep an eye on the counter number now. Why? Because the base number is not only one term, it is addition of two terms. So you can't keep an eye on the counter number now. So you have to see what is the power, press into, press equal to how many times? 1 less than the actual power. So have you raised the power to 2? How did you raise the power to 2? You type 2.12 plus 6.35. Then what did you do? Into equal to. Why into equal to? For squaring that value. Guys, you get some value, right? Would you write on the paper? Not required. You need to store it. Ultimately, what is that you need to do? Tell me. Numerator divided by denominator. Yes or no? But the denominator value just now you obtained. What do you do with that? Store. How do you store this, guys? Is it a positive value or negative value? How do you know it's a positive value? Look at the sign before the brackets. It's positive, right? So you are going to store this value as m plus. So value got stored. Ultimately, guys, what is the thing that you need to do? Numerator by denominator. Type the numerator value now. 7.35. What do you do after that? Divide. Press the divide by button. Now, where is this denominator? In the memory. How do you recall? MRC. Guys, the moment you press MRC, what you see in the calculator display is whatever you already stored. Yes or no? Whatever you have already stored, that appears in the calculator display. That is not the final answer. You have to press equal to after that. 7.35, press divide, press MRC and equal. So you get the answer. So if you do this, you need not write anything on paper. Have you understood? So if you want to do any calculation in one step in the calculator, the most complicated one has to be picked first. Among the numerator and denominator, the complicated one is what? The denominator. So in the denominator, what do you type first? Whatever within the bracket. So what did you do? 2 point, those who did not get on the last occasion, please try now. Whatever within the bracket, 2.12 plus 6.35. How do you raise the power to 2? Press into, press. I want to hear from you guys. Yes. How do you raise the power? Press into, press equal. What do you do with that? Ym plus to store the value. Ultimately, what to do? Numerator by denominator. What do you do now? Type the numerator. What is it? 7.35 divide. MRC is equal to. That's it. Have you understood? Everyone? Clear? Clear? Now, according to priority, what is the first thing to be typed in the calculator? Tell me. Whatever within the brackets. Shall we move on? Okay. So, you know the basics of memory calculations now. Yes? Guys, having seen the basic calculations, understood now? Understood? Everyone? You can feed the values faster. If you want to feed the values faster, first of all, you guys need to believe in yourself. So you always have a doubt while feeding the values faster. Have I fed the values correctly or wrong? That doubt shouldn't be there. Right? When you text someone, you will not have a doubt what you have typed. You'll text with so much of speed, right? So the same speed. So please have a good friendship with your calculator from now on. It should listen to what you're saying, what you're typing, right? So please feed the values faster. That is very fruitful, guys. You will understand the importance when we do the chapter, when we do the problems, right? Okay. So guys, I mean, even with the memory calculations, okay. Still, if you solve the questions conventionally, still it's not possible that you solve the question. I mean, you can reduce 3 minutes to 1.5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes, but not 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Okay, so for that, you need not have to worry. And so I'll be giving you shortcuts for maths and stats problems. Yeah, before that, I would like to give you all the syllabus and the weightage of each chapter, right? So please take down, and you have to prepare according to that, because high weightage chapters must be given highest priority. That you have to finish off, right? Then the other chapters should be followed, right? So first of all, please take down. We'll take up maths first. Syllabus. Okay. How many of you from mathematics background? Oh, you've taken maths only in your PU. Actually, it's a very good thing. That's why I'm saying. Okay. I think you would have had simple interest and componenters in your first PU, even the annuity concept, right? But that's not the approach you're gonna follow, huh? Too many formulas. I mean, too many steps to write, right? So even the annuity problems can be done within maximum 30 seconds, not more than that. Okay, so don't worry. So please take down. Weightage of business mathematics is 40 marks. How many chapters? How many chapters? 8 chapters. The first chapter, ratio, proportion, indices, and logarithm. The weightage of this chapter is 4 to 6. Minimum 4 questions, maximum 6 questions. The second chapter is equations, See, in your material, even matrices is given, right? Is it given? Updated, huh? Okay. Only equations. Along with that, in some material, actually, matrices is also there, but it is out of syllabus now. Okay. Only equations. So the weightage of equation chapter is 3 to 4 marks. Minimum 3 questions, maximum 4 questions. Chapter number 3, linear inequalities. The weightage of this chapter is 1 to 2. Minimum 1 question, maximum 3 questions. Chapter number 4. Time value of money, TVM. Okay. This is a money for you because 12 to 16 questions would come from this chapter. And if you see last 3-4 papers, 14 questions have appeared in each paper. 14 questions. Guys, out of 40 marks and out of 8 chapter, 1 chapter coming for 14 marks. It's not a small number, right? Okay. Chapter number 5, permutation and combination. The weightage of this chapter is 3 to 4. Minimum 3 questions, maximum 4 questions. And sequence and series is the 6th chapter. The weightage of this chapter as well is 3 to 4. Chapter number 7, sets, relations and function. So this chapter also for 3 to 4 marks. And chapter 8 is differential and integral calculus. Weightage is 4 to 5 marks. So you'll have to target the chapters. So I'm not saying you should leave any chapter. Okay. So highest weightage chapters must be studied in highest priority. So time value of money, as I said, like 14 questions you should score out from this chapter. Okay. Because, and it's not a difficult chapter. Yes, it becomes a difficult chapter if you solve all the question in a conventional way. Right. So it's no way that you're going to solve each question within a stipulated time, right? So this is the weightage of each chapter in mathematics. So let's see in statistics as well, and we'll start up with the chapter straight away, right? Have you copied this? Okay. So please take down statistics, 40 marks. There are how many chapters? 6 chapter. First one, statistical description of data. The weightage of this chapter is 4 to 5, minimum 4 questions, maximum 5 questions. Chapter number 2 is measures of central tendency and dispersion. The weightage is 10 to 15. Last 2 papers, 13 to 14 questions they've asked. Last 2 to 3 papers, if you see, on an average, 13 to 14 questions they've asked from this chapter alone. Chapter number 3. Oh, along with maths, statistics, huh? MSBA. Okay. All of you? Then? Not statistics, huh? Okay, no problem. Chapter number 3, probability. But in mathematics, you would have studied probability a little bit, right? Not little bit, too much, right? Probability. So weightage is 5 to 7. Last 2 papers, 7 questions have appeared from probability. Chapter number 4, theoretical distribution. Weightage of this chapter is 3 to 4 marks. No, you don't have so much that you have studied in your PU. Only three distributions you've got: binomial, Poisson's, and normal distribution. Only these three are there. Chapter number 5. Correlation and regression, 4 to 5 marks. Chapter number 6, index numbers. The weightage of this chapter is 3 to 4 marks, right? Earlier, along with index numbers, there used to be a time series, okay, where the weightage of index number was 3 and time series also 3. 6 questions used to appear from this chapter. Since they have removed time series, so those extra 3 or 2 questions, they are asking from probability. Earlier, probability, they used to ask only 3-4 questions. So after they removed time series, probability number of questions are more, right? So quickly we'll see the syllabus of logical reasoning and weightage of each chapter, and we'll start with the chapters. Done? Everyone? Okay. Please take down logical reasoning. How many marks? 20. How many chapters? 4 chapters. The first chapter, number series, coding, decoding, and odd man out. Huh? The weightage of this chapter is 5 to 6. Second, direction test. This chapter 4 to 5. Third chapter, seating arrangement. 4 to 5 questions. In the last chapter, blood relations. The weightage is 4 to 5. I mean 5 to 6, sorry. Yeah. So these are the chapters and the weightage of each chapters, right? So what I would suggest to you is logical reasoning. You must target 20 out of 20 because easy to score, because no formula whatsoever. For each chapter, I'll be giving you key points within 15-20 minutes. Whatever key point that you learn, with that you should be able to solve any question for that matter comfortably, and you will know, right, with those key points whether you are able to solve the questions or not. Right, all varieties of questions will be discussed, so you need not have to bother. You should target 20 out of 20 from logical reasoning, and from statistics at least 30 questions you should target, because first 2 chapters, if you see statistical description of data and central tendency dispersion, those 2 chapters alone come for 18 to 20 questions, okay, and another 10 marks easily you can score. I mean, index number is a very easy chapter, and even probability, I mean, since you are from mathematics background, you should be targeting out actually, right? So guys, just believe that you can do, just believe that you can score high marks, right? Shall we start? Okay, so the plan is basically I'll be doing revision. It's not like very important points, it's each and every point, but it will be a rapid revision. So the speed is little fast. Is that okay? Then only we can complete everything. It doesn't mean that if you don't understand, we'll go for the next topic. No. So just follow me and try to cope up with the speed. Is that fine? Is that fine? And tell me if it is too much, I'll slow down a little bit. But that's the way to go about, because 3-4 days completing everything is. So what I'll be emphasizing more on is I'll be touching upon each and every topic, shortcuts if any, then previous paper questions. With that you should be able to score. See, I confidently can tell you whatever the material that I'm going to give you. Okay, don't worry, we will just circulate the material. Okay, so all concepts will be there, and even the worked example I have solved. So you need not copy the worked example that I'm going to solve here, okay? Because I'll be going to circulate. Only previous paper question when we take up, only those questions you copy down. So your focus only should be on understanding the things, because we'll circulate the notes. All worked examples solved, I will circulate, but make sure you understand. Don't waste the time in copying the things. Only previous paper question when we solve, just write down the solution. Is that fine, everyone? Don't copy the question also. Clear? Yes. Okay, let's begin, guys. Time value of money. Okay, guys, I'm not going to read everything. Okay, so I'll just give you a simple story to understand what is time value of money. Okay, guys, a short story I would like to narrate. Oh my God. There are two people, Ram and Sham, very close to each other. Ram and Sham are very close to each other. Once Ram is in need of an amount of 2 lakhs. Once Ram wants 2 lakhs immediate, for some purpose. What he does is he tries to ask from some money lenders. Money lenders say that the interest per month only is 10%. Per month interest is 10%. It's too much, right? Then Ram talks to Sham and he says, I need money, but I tried asking money lenders. They're asking for too much interest. Okay. Now what Sham does is, Sham says, okay, no problem. I'll give you 2 lakhs. I'll give you 2 lakhs, but you will have to return me within 2 years. Let's say you're returning money of 2 lakhs after 2 years, at the end of 2 years, you have to pay me interest of 5% per annum. You have to pay me interest of 5% per annum. So Ram and Sham are very close to each other. They're very close friends actually. So do you think Ram feels bad? Why? No, being a friend of Sham, Sham has money and he's giving it, right? But still, he's asking for interest. Let's say even money lenders had asked 6% per annum. Okay, let's say per annum. Even if the money lenders had asked 6% per annum, Sham is asking 5% per annum, just 1% lesser. Still, Ram feels the same about Sham.
You should get some benefit out of lending money.
Amongst friends, what is the benefit? Do you? As a friend, I should have given the money without interest. That's what you feel, right? So it's not a fair thing. Do you feel it's not fair? That's where I'm coming from. Okay. So, guys, no friend wants his friends to suffer because of inflation effect. Let's say Ram has taken the money from Sham today, 2 lakhs. Okay. He's going to return the money after 2 years. Today's 2 lakh and 2 lakhs after 2 years, the words are same? No. So today's 2 lakh has got more value than 2 lakh after 2 years. Why it is so? Because of inflation effect. Can you tell me the root cause for inflation? What is the reason for inflation? What do you mean by basically inflation? Raise in the price, okay. What is the reason for increase in price? Demand. Increase in demand. Why do you think that demand is more? Is it something to do with the earning capacity? What is the reason for increase in demand?
Purchasing power.
No, that's what purchasing power is more means. Inflation rate is less. I'll talk about that when we do it. Consumption has increased over the years. That is what is increase in demand. What causes increase in demand? Very good. Populations. You can say scarcity of supply. Resources are less. Unlimited wantings. That means demand. So obviously the cost will go up. Yes or no? I'll just give you a simple example how the cost will go up. If the resource is less and wantings are more. Let's say there's a piece of land, guys. It's worth 10 lakh. How much? 1 lakh. It's a 30-40 site plot it is. Okay. Say 10 people have gone to purchase. There's only one piece of land. Okay. Only one site is there available, 40 site. The cost of that land is, that site is 10 lakh. But there are 10 aspirants. All 10 want the site. So can the landlord say, I'll give you what? This 30-40 site, you divide amongst yourself. Cut into pieces and take. No. Anyone will be given that site. Yes or no? So, it may be first in, first out. Obviously, right? Priority wise. So, but it will not happen that way. So, what will happen? Since 10 people are demanding for one site, obviously landlord will know even if I increase the price. So, obviously it goes for what? Auction. So, whoever pays the highest gets that site. So, resource is less, only one site, but 10 people wants it, right? Obviously, price will go up. Understood, right? Right. So, what do you mean? What do you feel about increase in demand? What causes increase in demand? Reduction in the supply. What causes reduction in the supply? You said the first point. What was that? Root cause for everything. Increase in population. Increase in population. That causes what? Supply is lesser supply. That causes what? Increase in demand. That causes what? Increase in price. And that is what is called as inflation. And guys, on an average, if you see the rate of inflation in India, around 5 to 6%, 5%. So whatever Shyam is asking, it's not what? 5% per month. He's just asking 5% per annum. Per year is asking 5%. So it's fair only, right? So Shyam, obviously by helping his friend, he should not be under loss. Yes or no? So whatever he is asking, it is only to compensate for the reduction in the value of money. So today's 2 lakhs is more than 2 lakhs after 2 years. See, what do you mean by inflation rate of 5%? The value of money reduces every year by 5%. Yes or no? So obviously for 2 years, 10% there will be a reduction in the value of money. That means roughly 1,90,000 is the value. Yes or no? Obviously 1,90,000 is lesser than 2 lakh. It's like what? He has taken 2 lakh, he is returning only 1,90,000. He is giving 2 lakh only, but its worth is only 1,90,000 for 2 years. So no? Yes? So you understood? So please understand, keeping money with us for longer time is of no good. Why? The value of money keeps reducing with time. Yes? And it is also not safe to keep money with us. Yes or no? There's a danger of theft and also life risk. Yes or no? So people came up with an idea of investment. People came with an idea of investment. Those who are in need of money, they can take. Those who are having money, they can give. As a result of it, there will be a guaranteed interest. And that is called as nominal rate of interest. Please remember, whatever the rate of interest that you get on your investment is called as what rate? Nominal rate. Whatever the rate of interest that you get for your money will be what? Nominal rate. Is it entirely for compensating for the reduction in the value of money? You understood why the value of money reduces with time, because of what? Inflation effect. Do you think that let's say nominal rate is 10%. Do you think that entire 10% per annum, whatever you get, is to compensate for the reduction in the value of money? No. Please understand, this nominal rate has got two parts. The first part is inflation compensation rate. Inflation compensation rate. The other one is real rate. So please understand, let's say the inflation in the market is 6% per annum. Okay. So out of 10%, 6% is the compensation for the reduction in the value of money. What will be the remaining thing? 4%. So 4% will be real rate. That means it is a profit. 4% will be the profit for your investment and 6% is compensation for the reduction in the value of money that you will come across if you keep money with you only. So why the concept of investment was introduced? Have you understood that? Are you understanding? So please understand, this is not the actual syllabus that from where the problems are going to come. You need to understand what is time value of money. Why do we have simple interest? Why do we have compound interest? All those things you need to understand. See, investment was introduced to compensate for the reduction in the value of money and also to get the little profit on your investment. Yes or no? Understood? Okay. The first of the investment schemes is simple interest. Okay. So let's talk about simple interest now. Guys, the characteristic of simple interest is principal, whatever you invest, that is called as principal, that remains same. Principal remains same. That means you invest 1 lakh, okay? Invest 1 lakh. 1 lakh remains as the principal for any number of years. You invest for 5 years or you invest for 10 years or 20 years, your principal will remain the same. See, principal basically means it's a sum of money that you have invested on which the interest is calculated. Principal means what? It's a sum of money that you have invested and the interest calculation will be done on the sum of money that you have invested. So since this is not going to change, the principal is not going to change. So the interest that you get for each and every year will be what? Same? So no. But it is not the case with the compound interest. It is not the case with compound interest. So the characteristic of simple interest is what? Principal remains the same. All right. So formula for SI is PTR by 100. Okay. So, but you will not be writing the formula in the exam. If you write formula, you tend to what? Substitute the values. So no substitution, nothing, everything in the calculator. Okay. But in the calculator, what you will be doing is, in calculator, SI is PTR percentage. Now I would like to ask you one question. Okay. Guys, in multiplication, will the order matter? If you multiply 2 into 3 or 3 into 2, the result is going to be the same. So why am I saying this is, it's not necessary that you type always P first, followed by T, followed by R. The order doesn't matter. You can even type time first, then the rate of interest, then the what? Principal you can type. So it is your wish. So the reason why I'm saying so is, sometimes the time will be specified in terms of years as well as months. Okay, but the calculation should be done for years. The reason why we do it for years is the rate of interest is always specified in terms of per annum. Rate of interest is always specified in terms of per annum. Therefore, time also must be expressed in terms of per annum only or per year only. I mean, number of years only. So what I mean to say is, say for example, you're given P is equal to 25,000. T is equal to 4 years, 8 months. And R is 8.5%. Please understand, all of you, PTR percentage is SI, correct? So according to priority, you type PTR, then press a percentage button. This is what you do in the calculator. But have a look here. Time is given in terms of what? Years as well as month. But this thing should be entirely in terms of years alone. So how do we carry out the calculation? Guys, for this case, you don't type principal first, then the time, then the rate of interest. Why? Because this conversion should happen in the calculator only and you need not write anything on the paper. So how to do the conversion in one step in the calculator? Guys, how do you convert months to years? Months divided by 12. 12 months is equal to 1 year. So what do you do first of all? 8 by 12. So 8 months are there. So 8 months equivalent to number of years is 8 by 12. Okay. So this is years, equivalent number of years for 8 months. But it is not just 8 months. It is 4 years plus 8 months. So add 4 to it. So if you do this in the calculator, this will give you time in terms of years. What to do? First of all, you would type months divided by 12. So we got the conversion for 8 months into here, but it's not just 8 months, it is 4 years also. So add what? 4 to it. So it's 4 point how much? 6666. So you need not write that on the paper. You got the time, yes or no? By doing 8 by 12 plus 4 in the calculator, you got the time in terms of years. Then multiply principal. What is principal? 25,000. Then multiply rate of interest 8.5. Then don't forget to press a button percentage. What is the result? 16.66. So this is the simple interest, nothing to be written on paper. Have you understood? Everyone? Everyone? Okay. So this is how you calculate the simple interest. Can you tell me what could be the amount? Simple interest plus principal. Okay. So when you add principal of 25,000 to it, it will become what? 34,916.66. So A is equal to what? P plus SI. Okay. So if you see in simple interest, only these two things are there. But the varieties of question that they can ask could be very, like 8 varieties of questions are there. But if you do each question in a conventional way, it takes a lot of time. Okay, so what I will be just doing is I'll be just giving you the shortcuts. So I'll not be explaining the conventional methods. Okay, because anyway, you're not going to use it, right? So shortcut, if you are able to solve the question in 10-15 seconds, you're done, right? Do you need really conventional methods? No, right? Okay. I mean, anyway, you know conventional method, you can just cross-check your answer. If you want conventional method, you can refer your ICM material. ICM material will give you everything in terms of what? Conventional method. Because you are not going to do it in that way. Okay, the whole chapter for that matter. Right? Okay. So let's start with the problems on SI, guys. I have classified the questions on SI into 8 types. The reason why I have classified is, so if you can understand each type, what is this type? I mean, what data should be given under that type. If you can understand, you can just apply the shortcut and get the answer. So you will have to spend some time in getting those types in your mind. If this is the data given, what to do, what type it is. If you can identify the type, corresponding shortcut you can apply and get the answer quickly. As simple as that. Clear? Okay. So type 1 is very simple. Straight question it is. You'll be given principal, time, and the rate of interest. You'll be given what? Principal, time, and rate of interest. What can be asked, guys? Simple interest or amount. Okay. Guys, take the first question. What is given? Principal, rate of interest, and time. You're asked to find what? SI and the amount. Guys, I don't want you to write anything on the paper. What do you do rather? What do you type to find SI first of all? PTR percentage, SI is what? PTR percentage. What to be typed first? Time. In time, what is the first thing that you have to type? 8 by 12. Yes, everyone. Plus 2. All right, then. Into 25,000. Into rate. What is it? 13.5. Press what? Percentage. Tell me what is SI? 8,999.99. That means it is 9,000. Correct? Now, how do you get amount for this? Add principal. Straight away add 25,000, you get 34,000. 33,999.99, which is 34,000 only. Clear, everyone? Everyone? Understood? Okay. Solve this question quickly. Example 2. How much is SI? 937.5. What is the amount? 45,937.5. So this is type 1 question. It's not that these kind of questions are not going to come. Once or twice they have asked in CA Foundation this question, this type of question. Okay. So Laddu kind of questions you can enjoy. It'll hardly take how many seconds? 5 to 10 seconds, not more than that. Yeah. So picture ab shuru hone wala hai. This is what the straight kind of questions. Hereafter, you will have an actual picture. It's just a trailer now. Type 2. Guys, you need to identify what type of a question based on the data. To identify, I have given the note here under type 2. What is type 2 question? When to say that question is type 2? When a principal is not given. In the type 1, principal is given, time, rate of interest are given. Difference between type 1 and type 2 is, there principal is given, here amount will be given, you will be asked to find principal. Along with amount, you will be given time and rate of interest. You will be asked to find what? Principal. You will be asked to find what? Principal. Guys, if you do this problem in a conventional method, amount is given, principal is asked. What connects amount and principal? A is equal to P plus SI. Then SI formula PTR by 100. Substitute the values, rearrange the terms. Will take a lot of time, right? Shortcut. 5-second shortcut it is. What to find? Tell me. P. What are given? Tell me. Amount, time, rate of interest. Type 2 means you have to remember amount, time, rate of interest are given to find what? Principal. So take down the shortcut. P is A divided by 1 plus TR percentage. Now guys, according to priority, all of you know what to type first. Numerator or denominator? Denominator. Guys, you all know BODMAS rule. What gets the first priority amongst addition and multiplication? Brackets, yes. After that, division, then multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay. Now, guys, you know the complicated one is the denominator. In the denominator, there is a plus, there is a multiplication as well. What do you type first according to? Multiplication. What is that you need to multiply? TR. Please type what is T here. And first of all, you have to identify the question as type 2. It's not that because this question comes under type 2, it is type 2. You have to identify, is it type 2 question? How do you identify it's a type 2 question? Find the sum of money. Please understand, sum of money means principal. Sum of money means principal, which amounts to, so amount is how much? 3720. How many years? 4 years. What is the rate of interest? 6%. So what are given to us? A, T and R. What is asked? Sum of money. That means principal. So that means it is type 2. Guys, according to priority, what is the first thing? Denominator you would solve. In the denominator, first thing to be typed as what? T into R. That is 4 into 6. And I have written a percentage there. Please press a percentage. Yeah. Then what you do? Plus. Then 1. Plus 1 you have done? Yeah. What do you do with that now? Store that value by pressing M plus. Now, ultimately what? Numerator by denominator. What's the numerator value? 3720 divided by what? MRC. Because the denominator has already been stored in the memory. How do you recall? By pressing MRC. And then press equal. Answer. 3000. Have you understood? Are you understanding? Everyone? Shall we have the next question then? Is it type 2 question? Tell me, how do you justify it is type 2 question? Certain sum of money. How much sum of money? They have not given. Yes, amounts to 650. That means amount is 650. How many years? 6 years. Rate of interest is 5%. Yeah, find the sum. So faster. Is it 500 everyone got? Got the calculations? That's it. If you identify type, if you know the shortcut, it's hardly 5 seconds or maximum 10 seconds. Everyone got it? Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. Guys, example 3 for your assignment. Because similar kind of question, I don't want to waste the time on that. Right? Shall we move on to type 3? Type 3. Okay. Have a look at type 3, guys. Guys, in type 3, there are 2 varieties. Okay. You need not have to worry thinking that there are 2 varieties. Okay. First of all, let me tell you how to identify type 3 question. Okay. How to identify type 3 question. The moment you see principal amount both mentioned in the question, the values of principal and amount both given in the question, it is definitely type 3. If you see under type 3, there are 2 subtypes I have mentioned. To find R when A, P and T are given. Next one is to find T when A, P and R given. What are the common things? A, P and A, P. Along with principal and amount, if they give you time, they'll ask you to find what? Rate of interest. Along with principal and amount, if they give you rate of interest, they'll ask you to find what? Time. Once again, amount principal means again A is equal to P plus SI, plug in the values and simplify. It takes more time. Yes or no? I'll give you a shortcut where you can get the answer in 5 seconds. Guys, it's all what? You have to spend time on what? Identifying the type and corresponding shortcut. If you learn that, solving questions is only 5, maximum 10 seconds. Yes, can you not spend time on and remember that? It's easy, right? So each type, what is the type? I mean, if this data is given, what type it is? If you can identify that, you can easily solve the question. Clear? Going very fast? All right. All right. Don't curse me, guys. Within, yeah. So shall I give you shortcut straight away for type 3? Yes. So one shortcut, if you buy one, get two it is. That shortcut is only modified to get the second one. Okay. So shortcut for type 3. See, in the first one, what is asked? R, right? R is equal to A minus P divided by PT into 100. Yes, in the second one, what is asked? Time, right? You see, R and T, the positions can be interchanged by doing what? Cross multiplication. Can we not do that? So T is equal to what? A minus P divided by PR into 100. Guys, the moment you are given principal and amount in the question, the first thing that you do, A minus P. Yes or no? You do what? A minus P. Then divide what? Principal. Then divide what? Whatever else is given. If they give you rate of interest, divide rate of interest. If they give you time, divide time. Then into 100, you will get time or rate of interest. The procedure for both type 1 and type 2 under type 3 is the same. You subtract A minus P, then you divide principal. Up to dividing principal is the same, right? Up to this, it's a common thing for both subtype A and subtype B. Then what? If they give you rate of interest, divide that. If they give you time, divide that. Then multiply 100, you will get the answer. Understood? Understood? Everyone? So how do you identify type 3 quickly? Tell me. When amount and principal both given, along with if they give you time, they'll ask you to find rate of interest. They give you rate of interest, they'll ask you to find what? Time. Okay. So tell me, is it type 3 question? Don't say it is under type 3, so it is type 3. No. 8,000 amounts to 10,000. So what is 8,000 here? Principal. 10,000? Amount. In how many years? 2 years. That is T. So A, P, T are given. What is asked? R. So what is the first thing that you do? A minus P divided by what? P. R is given, divide R. Yes. Yes. Into what? 100. Oh, sorry. Divided by G. So what's the answer? 12.5%, right? If it is time, years. If it is rate of interest, attach a percentage there. So guys, let me tell you the calculation once. A minus P. What is A? 10,000. Would you do 10,000 minus 8,000? 2,000. Mind calculation you can do, no? So just type what? 2,000. Then divide. If there is a multiplication sign between two terms in the denominator, divide the terms separately. Yes or no? Hope you remember that. Divided by what first? 8,000. Then divided by what? Divided by 2. What is the answer? 12.5%. Is it clear? Tell me the next question. What is this 15,000? Principal. What is this 18,000? Amount. In what time means time is what we need to find out. Rate of interest is? Answer is 4 years. Oh my God, you're insulting the question. A minus P divided by P into R into 100. Yeah, quickly do it, guys. 4 years. How many seconds you are taking, guys? Hardly 10 seconds. Okay. Have you understood? Have you understood? Yeah. Everyone. I want to hear from everyone, guys. Okay. I mean, question number 3 you can solve by your own, right? I mean, anyway, I'll be sharing the notes with you all. Type 4. Okay. Guys, what is type 4? Please understand, when two amounts in terms of principal. When two amounts in terms of principal. First of all, let me tell you, what is an amount in terms of principal? If you see in a question, certain sum of money double, certain sum of money triples, right? Certain sum of money becomes 5 times of itself. Okay. If you see such statements, how many such amounts should be there? 2 such amounts should be there in the question. The moment you see 2 such amounts in the question, how do you identify? Certain sum of money double, certain sum of money becomes 3 times, certain sum of money becomes 5 times of itself. 2 such amounts must be present in the question, and most importantly, it should be as per SI. That is also very important to observe, guys. Sometimes the question could be even as per CI. For CI, there's a different shortcut I'll give you later when I take up a CI concept. Clear? So this is as per what? SI. Along with these two amounts, in terms of principal, they'll also give you time in the first case. Because there will be two amounts, means obviously there are two cases. There are two amounts. Obviously, there should be two cases, right? Principals will be same. Rate of interest will be same. What is different is time taken will be different. So what you'll be asked to find is T2, time in the second case. If you solve this in a conventional method, so you will be doing like this: case 1, case 2, okay? Case 1. First of all, look at the question, guys. A certain sum of money doubles one amount in terms of principal, and there's one more amount. What is it? 4 times. There's one more amount. So this is enough to say this is type 4 question of simple interest. Yes or no? But if you do like this, A is equal to 2P, A is equal to 4P, then A is equal to P plus SI, find out R from this, plug in that value here, exam will get over. Right? So this is not the way. What is the way? What is the way? Shortcut. So guys, are you getting it? How to identify the types? Two amounts in terms of principal must be there to say it is a type 4 question. Can you tell me what will be asked under type 4 question? Time in the second case. That means T2. So let me now tell you, certain sum of money doubles, right? So it is 2 times, yes or no? So A1, first amount is 2. What is the second amount? A2 is 4. And what is T1? Time taken for the first case, 6 years. What is that they're asking? T2. In what time? That is T2 they're asking. So shortcut, please take down. So you need to find what? T2. So it is A2 minus 1 divided by A1 minus 1 into T1. Guys, shortcut also, if you know the shortcut, please don't write on the paper. You must know what you need to feed according to the shortcut. If you write the shortcut also, again, waste of time. You must know the shortcut in the mind. Accordingly, you must feed the values in the calculator. So what is the shortcut, guys? Second amount minus 1 divided by first amount minus 1 into 100. What is the second amount? 4, right? 4 minus, would you do 4 minus 1 in the calculator? What would you type? 3. Type 3. As a result of what? A2 minus 1. Alright. Then what you do? A1 minus 1. What is A1? 2. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3 itself, right? Into. What is T1? 6. Answer is 18 years. The same question, if you solve it in conventional method, it will take 2 minutes. Same question, if you want to solve it in conventional method, very easily 2 minutes. Use the shortcut, 5 seconds. Not more than that. Thing is what here? To identify type 4 and apply the shortcut. Understood? How it is type 4? Tell me quickly. There are two amounts in terms of principal. What are those two amounts? Double, 4 times. The moment you see two such amounts in the question, it is type 4. What to do? A2 minus 1 divided by A1 minus 1. Then multiply what? T1. To get what? T2. Can you do one more? Please do it. How many amounts are there? What are the two amounts? 4 and 8. So what minus what first? What is 8 minus 1? Divided by 3 into 15. That is 35 years. Everyone doing it, everyone getting it. Right? Great. We'll move on. Type 4 understood? So you have to go back and you have to practice. If you don't practice, you will forget everything. Right? Can you do that? Yes. Let's move on to type 5. Okay. So observe type 5. What is type 5? What's the difference between type 4 and type 5? There are two amounts in terms of principal. Here two amounts in terms of what? Rupees. They'll give you two amounts in terms of what? Rupees. Two amounts. what you'll be asked to find is principal, sometimes even SI rate per annum. Okay, so for type 5 questions, if they ask you to find SI rate per annum, the numerator is SI for 1 year divided by principal into 100. This is what is SI rate per annum. Before that, you will have to find out what is principal. Okay, once again, guys, two amounts means A1, A2. You'll get two simultaneous equations, solve that, get the value of SI for 1 year, plug in that in one of the equation to get the principal. Oh my god, you'll all become old, very, very old. Ajajis, right? So what? Just identify the type, just apply what? Shortcut. That's it. So what is this type? First of all, a certain sum of money. Sum of money means what? Principal. How much? They have not given. Certain sum of money, that's it. So how much is the principal? They have not given. Amounts to 6,900. That means this is the amount. In how many years? 3 years. There's one more amount and 7,500. So first amount is A1, second amount is A2. So first time duration is T1, second time duration is T2. What you'll be asked to find out is find the sum and the SI rate per annum. Find the sum and SI rate per annum. Guys, so far, if you see, only to find the sum they have asked, SI rate per annum, so rarely they have asked. Okay, even if they ask, you can do it in one step. I shall tell the shortcut for that as well. So please listen. Shortcut for type 5 question is, what is that you need to find? Tell me. Principal. So P is A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1 into, and please listen here. After doing this A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1, it's your wish to multiply the time duration. You can multiply T1 or you can multiply T2. It is your wish. You can multiply either T1 or you can multiply either T2. Let's say if I'm multiplying T1 with it, make sure you subtract A1. Suppose had you multiplied T2 there, subtract what? A2. And everything under modulus. What do you mean by modulus? The value comes out to be negative, you will have to take it as positive. And let me highlight something here. Guys, this A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1, whatever highlighted, that is nothing but SI for 1 year. This is basically SI for 1 year. Guys, why am I highlighting this is because if the question asked in the exam, let's say find SI rate per annum, okay? To find SI rate per annum, you need SI for 1 year divided by principal into 100, okay? So if you completely do this calculation, you get the value for P, right? But whatever I have encircled, that is what? SI for 1 year. Ultimately, to find SI rate per annum, you need SI for 1 year divided by principal. So immediately after A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1, you can store that value. That will be what? SI for 1 year. Okay. After completing this calculation, you get what? Principal. That you can write down on the paper. And finally, SI rate per annum, if they ask, SI for 1 year has already been stored in the calculator. How do you recall? MRC divided by the value that you have written as a result of this P. Okay. Divide into 100 you get SI rate per annum. If you solve this question conventionally, 3 to 4 minutes easily, because two simultaneous equation, you'll have to subtract the two equation and plug in the value of SI for 1 year in any of the two equation. It's a long story. See, after A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1, this is basically what? SI for 1 year. You would store that value. Okay. That will be there in the memory. Continue doing into T1 minus A1. That will give you basically what? Principal. That you write it down. Okay. Now finally, if they ask you to find SI rate per annum, SI for 1 year has already been stored in the memory. How do you recall? Press MRC, the value will be recalled. Finally what? Divide what? Principal. The principal you would have written there, right? Into 100 you do SI rate per annum. Let's do the calculation for this question, guys. First of all, two amounts are there, 6,900 and 7,500. Two time durations are there. So guys, listen. First of all, what to do? A2 minus A1. 7,500 minus 6,900. It is 600. If you don't know, just type the value as it is. So 600 divided by. But please listen here. You cannot do T2 minus T1 in the calculator. T2 minus T1 must be carried out in one step in the mind. Guys, it's the whole number, right? 5 and 2, 3, difference is what? 2. Please don't do 5 minus 3 in the calculator. Please don't do that. 5 minus 3 is what? 2. So just divide it by 2. In the question, they have even asked what SI rate per annum, right? So you need to store this value. Whatever I have encircled, it is what? SI for 1 year. How do you store it? M plus, the value gets stored. Hope you're clearing the memory all the time. Okay. Then into T1. What is T1, guys? 3 years. Minus A1, 6,900. So you get a negative value, but you have to take it as positive. What is the value you got? 6,000 or 5,000? 6,000. Now we got the principal as what? 6,000. So what is that you have to do to find SI rate per annum? SI for 1 year. Where is SI for 1 year? Memory. How do you recall? MRC. If you press MRC, the value will be recalled. Yes or no? Then what you do? Divide. Divide what? 6,000 into what? 100. So therefore, SI rate per annum will be how much? 5%. So they'll not ask to find what both. Okay, any one of the two. Most of the time they've asked principal. So if they just ask principal, you need not store this value. If they ask SI rate per annum, in between you have to store and recall the value. Have you get the answer negative, it's under modulus. And guys, let's do what if it is T2, you have to do what? Minus A2. You will get the same answer. You want to check that? Please do it. A2 minus A1 is how much? 600. Type 600. Divided by T2 minus T1 is what? 2. Into T2 you are doing, what is T2? 5. Minus A1 you are doing, what is A1? Sorry, A2. What is A2? 7,500. How much it is? That is 6,000. Modulus means 6,000. Same answer only you get. So it's your wish, but don't do what? Into T1 minus A2. If you're doing into T1, you have to subtract A1. If you're doing into T2, you subtract A2. Clear? Everyone clear? Please practice, guys. You can do the calculations very faster. You need to practice. Understood? Can you do this problem quickly? Yes? A certain sum of money amounts to 26,404 years and 31,207 years as per SI. Find the sum and SI rate per annum. Guys, after A2 minus A1 by T2 minus T1, please store the value because they have also asked to find what? R.
Not getting.
A2 minus A1. What is A2? You have stored A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1 by pressing M plus. Now SI rate per annum, if you want to find MRC, you press. No.
Yeah, after I find the principal which came as in the previous question minus this.
If I
press MRC, I'm getting C.
It should not happen, I guess. Please do it again. 31,200. 31,200 minus 26,400. Divide by. What's the difference between time duration? 3. Yeah. Then press M plus. Press M plus. How much is the value? Before 1,600. Minus into what? Into T1. What is T1 here? 4. Minus what? 26,400. You get the value? So principal is 20,000. If they ask rate of interest, press MRC. If you press MRC, the value will be 1,600 divided by principal, which is 20,000 into what? 100. How much is the answer? 8%. Now you got? Do it? No. Boys, you got it? Divided by 20,000 into 100. You type 20 lakhs, huh?
Got it.
Guys, shall we move on? Okay. Guys, in terms of shortcuts, only type 1, there's no shortcut. PTR percentage. Type 2 needs a shortcut. Type 3 needs a shortcut. Type 4, type 5. These 4 types, and even type 7 a shortcut. Other types shortcut is not required. Just PTR by 100 concept only. What is SI? PTR by 100, right? See, only for type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5, and type 7, which is followed by type 6 I'm going to discuss. But for type 1, type 6 and type 8, it is normal PTR by 100 formula only we will use. Same concept, no shortcut whatsoever. You can do the calculation using memory of your calculator. Okay. Let's see what is type 6. Guys, when SI rate per annum are different for different years. When SI rate per annum are different for different years. So far, we have discussed only with one rate of interest. Yes or no? How many ever years you invest, the rate of interest will remain the same. Certain sum of money is invested at 5% per annum for 10 years or 6% per annum for 5 years. So rate of interest remains the same for all the years. Yes or no? But for some problems, the rate of interest will be different for different years. For example, for first 3 years, 5%. For the next 2 years, it is 6%. For the next 5 years, it is 8%, like that. Okay. Obviously, the rate of interest for different durations are different. The moment you see such questions, what is SI, guys? PTR by 100? PTR by 100. So you cannot use this PTR by 100 because there are different time duration, then there are different rate of interest. So you'll have to split the formula as P1 T1 R1 by 100 plus P2 T2 R2 by 100 and so on. So this is what you have to do. And you know how to do this in one step in the calculator. How do you do it? Multiply all of them, press M plus. Multiply all of them, press M plus. And for divided by 100, you can even press percentage. Instead of doing divided by 100, you can even press what? Percentage. So hardly you're writing anything on the paper. You're not writing anything on the paper. Everything in the calculator only. Yes, sometimes principles may be same for all the durations. In that case, guys, P1, P2 and all will become same. So that can be replaced by P. So P by 100 comes out of the bracket because it's common for all the durations, right? So what remains within? T1 R1 plus T2 R2. So there are two sub cases here. What is it? Principles being different in all for different durations. Second sub case is principle being the same. So please take down, when the principle is same, what comes out? Principle comes out, even divided by 100 comes out. So what remains? T1 R1 plus T2 R2 plus T3 R3 and so on. And the second sub case is what? Principle are different. Then it's P1 T1 R1 plus P. See, it's a simple interest formula only, but we are splitting the formula into 3 terms or 2 terms depending upon the number of durations they have given. Have you understood? AC working there? No, huh? Sir, you told me, no? Very good, guys. Copy? Shall we have a question? AC work ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Actually on ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? Feeling it? Started feeling it now? Huh? Kind of. Some difference is there? No. No? I think I can feel it a little bit. It will take time. Okay, anyways. You should tell me now whether the principle is same in the question or different. Read the question. Mr. X invested 30,000 at 7% per annum SI for first 3 years, 8% per annum SI for the next 2 years, and 10% per annum SI for the next 2 years. Find the SI accrued. That means SI obtained. Okay, guys, tell me, principle same or different? Same. So what is that you have to take out? P by 100. What is within? How many durations and how many rate of interest? 3, right? So it's T1 R1 plus T2 R2 plus T3 R3. So no need to substitute the values on paper, straight away in the calculator. What is T1 R1, guys? See, unless I specified in the formula percentage, don't press a percentage, because this whole divided by 100 will take care of that, right? So what you do, T1 R1, that means 3 into 7. I mean, order doesn't matter in multiplication. 7 into 3 or 3 into 7, one and the same. What do you press? What do you press? M plus. Next, 8 into 2, press what? M plus. Next, 10 into 2, M plus. Press what then? MRC. Then multiply. 30,000 divided by 100. 17,100. Everyone got it? Please tell me, don't hesitate. If you haven't got, tell me. I shall explain again. It's hardly what? I mean, it's what? Memory calculation, nothing else. You're not plugging in any value on paper. Everything in the calculator. Clear, everyone? Hope you're understanding. Everyone? Boys, busy talking. Talk about this question. Principle same or different? How do you say different? 1/5, half of the total sum. What is the total sum here? 1 lakh. Can you tell me the first principle? 1/5 of 1 lakh. 20,000. Second principle. 50,000. Third one remaining. How much? 30,000. Because 1 lakh is a total sum. First sum is 20, second is 50, so 70 has been spent on 2 of the schemes. The third one should be 30,000 remaining. Yes or no? Guys, ultimately what? P1 T1 R1 plus P2 T2 R2 plus P3 T3 R3 whole divided by 100. You can divide by 100 at the end because all denominators are 100. Finally, you can divide it by 100. What I mean to say is just do what? P1 T1 R1 plus P2 T2 R2 plus P3 T3 R3 whole divided by 100. So can you tell me what is P1? 20,000. Please type 20,000 into what? 5 into 4. I mean, order doesn't matter. 20,000 into 5 into 4. Press what? M plus. Next, 50,000 into 6 into 3. Press what? M plus. Next, 30,000 into 8 into 2. Press what? M plus MRC. Whole divided by 100. How much? 17,800 is the total SI. Everyone, is it clear? Is it clear? Guys, the calculation practice you should do today only. If not today, it's never. So by the end of today's session, you must be very familiar with the calculations. Is it 17,800? Done. Done? Okay. Technically the last type. Okay. There's one more type followed by it, which is SI concept only. Okay. Type 7. Read the concept of type 7, guys. What is it? To find T when an amount in terms of P. Guys, similar type amount in terms of P we have seen. Which type? Type 4. But what's the difference there and this? There are two amounts here, only one amount. So why I told you, you have to observe the amounts carefully in terms of principal. How do you identify amount in terms of principal in the question? How do you identify amount in terms of principal in the question? Certain sum of money, doubles, triples, 4 times, 5 times. That is how you identify amount in terms of principal. So if you have two such amount in the question it is type 4. If you have only one amount in the question, it is type 7. Guys, for type 7 problems, please understand, you'll be asked to find either time or rate of interest. Time or rate of interest. So if they give you rate of interest, they'll ask you to find time. If they give you time, they'll ask you to find rate of interest. So R is equal to total SI rate total SI rate divided by T, or T is equal to total SI rate divided by R. See, SI rate per annum, I can replace it by R, yes or no? SI rate per annum means R only, right? In PTR percent, what does R stand for? SI rate per annum, yes or no? Right. Okay. Guys, you may be wondering, in the statement I have said what amount in terms of principal, but there is nowhere amount is shown in the formula, correct? Is there any amount in the formula? No. What you can see, total SI rate. Please understand, for type 7 problem, when there's only one amount in terms of principal in the question, amount must be expressed in terms of percentage. Amount must be expressed in terms of percentage. So let's say a certain sum of money triples. Amount is 3 times principal. Certain sum of money triples. Amount is what? 3 times principal. See guys, whatever rate of interest we calculate on what? Principal only. So principal will be the reference value. So reference value, if you are finding out a percentage, reference value is taken as what? One full thing. One full thing means how much percent? 100. So for type 7 problems, remember, principal is taken as 100%. So if I say certain sum of money triples, what is A? 3 into P, which is 3 into 100, 300%. Amount is 300%. But what we want is total SI rate. Please remember, for type 7 problems, how to get total SI rate if you know amount? Total SI rate will be always 100% lesser than the amount. If amount is 300%, total SI rate will be 200%. If the amount is 400%, total SI rate is 300%. Let me just justify for your understanding. Let's see here. What is the formula for amount principal? A is equal to P plus SI or the total SI, one and the same. Guys, if amount is 400%, what is P to be taken as? 100. So SI will be what? 100 goes that side, becomes what? 300. If amount is 300%, so P plus SI. P is 100, P goes that side. 300 minus 100 is what? 200. So you understood how come total SI rate is always 100% less than amount? Because 100 gets subtracted from the amount, yes or no? To get what? Total SI. So guys, all these things must happen in your mind to decide what is total SI rate. If they say certain sum of money becomes 5 times of itself, what should come to your mind? 5 into 100, 500. And total SI rate will be how much? So that is what you should be typing in the calculator, because total SI rate is in the numerator, yes or no? So what do you type? 400 divided by, if they give you time, divide time, you get what? R. If they give you rate of interest, you divide rate of interest, you get what? Time. In both the cases, you must what? Divide only. If they give you rate of interest, divide rate of interest. If they give you time, divide time. Have you understood? So what to type in the calculator? Is it total amount or total SI? Total SI. How do you decide on total SI? Total SI is always 100% lesser than amount. Clear? Everyone? Okay. Now, first of all, identify this question as type 7 or type 4. Which type? How do you justify type 7? There's only one amount in terms of principal. A certain sum of money triples. That means A is equal to 300 per 3P, which is 300%. Yes or no? So, but what you should be typing in the calculator? 200%. Total SI is 200%. Divided by R is given. Divide R. Answer. What is that we found out? Time or rate of interest? If they give you rate of interest, they'll ask time. If they give you time, they'll ask what? Rate of interest. So how many years? 40 years. Total SI is always 100% less than amount. Am I clear, everyone? Everyone? Yes. Okay, please take down. Tell me the difference between example 1 and example 2. What was given in example 1 and what is given in example 2? Look at the example 1. Here SI is given. You see, a certain sum of money triples means amount they have given. Here, the SI on a certain sum, that means straight away they have given what? A total SI rate. They have given of what? Total SI rate. If they give you amount, you know what to do. Subtract 100 from it, you get what? Total SI. But total SI itself is given, so no need to subtract what? 100. Because ultimately what we want is what? Total SI rate. Can you tell me what is total SI according to the question? 0.125 times of itself. Itself means the principal. Principal is 100. So it becomes what? 12.5%. Principal is taken as what? 100 for type 7 problems. Okay. Now guys, what is asked? Time. What is time? Total SI upon R. What is R given in the question? 6.25. Total SI, how much we got? 12.5. So 12.5 by 6.25, the answer is 2 years. Have you all understood? Understood. So in type 7, there are two different varieties. What could be the two different varieties? They may ask you, they may give you amount straight and ask you what? Time or rate of interest. Or sometimes they may give you total SI straight away. If they give you amount, you have to subtract 100 to get total SI. If they give you total SI as it is, you take. But make sure P is taken as 100%. Clear? Everyone? Everyone, is it clear? Okay, you tell me, is it amount or SI? An example 3. Amount? Yes. So A is equal to how much percent? And is it type 7 first of all? How do you justify type 7? Only one amount in terms of principal. So A is how much percent? 500%. Total SI is how much? So type what in the calculator? 400. So T is asked. So 400 divided by 16. Answer is? Attach percentage or years here? Yes. If they had it been R, percentage. You have to put percentage there. That's it. Understood? Understood?
Yes.
Everyone. So we have discussed how many types so far? 7 types. Is there any question which takes more than 1 minute time? Any type? No. Right. So feeling easy? See, only SI we have more types, guys. Compound interest and annuity concept will just go like this. You have to understand the basics and the shortcuts. If you understand that, this chapter is 14 questions, very easily you can score, guys. If you are not scoring 14 out of 14, what? Shame. Seriously. If you are not scoring 14 out of 14, I mean, you can't pass the exam. Because, I mean, I'll show the previous paper question. Okay, you will only know how the questions are going to be and how to handle them. If you know these concepts, can you solve all the questions in the exam? Right? Guys, next question on this. The SI on a certain sum. Is it total SI given or amount? Total SI only is given. So what is total SI according to the question? 9 by 16 times what? Principal. Principal is taken as 100. So just simplify this. 900 by 16, how much? 56.25. And what is the formula for type 7 problems? Tell me. T is equal to total SI divided by R. They're asking us to find what? Find SI rate per annum. They have given one condition. R is equal to T. Guys, if R is equal to T and they're asking us to find R or T? R. So we have to express both R and T in terms of R alone. So that means I can replace T by what? Total SI is how much? 56.25. And this R will remain as it is. R into R is what? R square. Ultimately, what is that we need to find? R. So how do you find R from R square? Take the root of it. Yes or no? So R square is equal to root of 56.25. And the answer is 7.5. Understood? Understood? Type identification is the key actually for maths. I mean, time value of money chapters. Okay, and you will not see these types and shortcuts and all in your ICA material. Right. So why I told you, please don't use it now. I suggest, because if you're studying from now, it's not possible to cover everything. Right. Last type in simple interest. I mean, there's no shortcut. It's a direct question basically. It's based on PTR by 100 only. So what it is basically, problems on 2 SIs. Problems on what? 2 SIs. Okay, don't worry about the break. I'll give you a short break at 11:30 for 10-15 minutes. And afterwards, we'll resume and we'll continue till what time would you prefer for lunch? 1 or 1:30? 1? Okay, we'll have a lunch break later. Right? So I'll give you a short break at 11:30. Right? Is that fine? Is that fine? Guys, comfortable so far? Yes. Easy or difficult? Easy. It will be more easier if you practice the shortcuts, right? So type 8 questions. What is basically type 8? Problems on 2 SI. So they'll give you information about 2 simple interests in the question. They'll give you information on 2 simple interests in the question. What is this SI, guys? PTR by 100. So they'll be giving you what? Information about 2 SIs in the question, and you have to identify, is it the difference between 2 SIs? Is it the addition of 2 SIs that you have to identify and solve the question accordingly? Now, first of all, read the question. The SI on rupees 1000 at 6% per annum for a certain time duration is 30 rupees more than SI on the same sum at 5% per annum for the same time duration. Then find the time duration. Guys, how many SIs are there? This SI and SI on the same sum. So there are 2 SIs. Which SI is more? First SI or second SI? So can I write SI1? Since SI1 is more than SI2, if I take the difference between the two, I should get that. How much it is? 13. Is it understood? First SI is more than second SI by how much? 30. Obviously, the difference between the two should be 30. It's not SI2 minus SI1. Had the first SI is 30 rupees less than second SI, then it would have been what? SI2 minus SI1. Understood? Now tell me, guys, what is SI? PTR by 100? Okay. For the first SI and the second SI, the common things are what? They have said same sum, same time duration. So what comes out from PTR by 100? PT. Even by 100 also can be taken out. So what remains here? R1 minus R2 is equal to 30. No substitution from here onwards. Okay. All of you listen here. R1 minus R2. What is R1? 6%. R2 is 5%. So should we consider percentage there? No. This divided by 100 will take care of it. Only the magnitude you have to take. 6 minus 5 is 1. Guys, according to the calculation, whatever within the bracket, that has to be solved first. But this can be done in the mind itself straight away. So what is the unknown here? T or P? So you know, guys, when you want to find some value, only that value has to be segregated on one part. Everything else must go on the other side. That's the basic. When you want to find the value of x, let's say, x must be kept on one side, rest of the things on the other side, right? You know cross multiplication. Yes or no? Guys, except this t, everything else would go to the other side. Okay. So 30 gets cross multiplied with what, first of all? Please do it. 30 into 100. Then this p, where will this p go? To the denominator. Press a divide by button. What is p? 1000. Then R1 minus R2 difference is what? 1. Divided by 1. I mean, where will it go? To the denominator only. You need not divide by 1 because the value remains the same when you divide it by 1. So what is t?
3 years.
3 years. Guys, please don't write the values and cross multiply and simplify. Yes? Have you understood? Everyone. You must know what you're doing, that's it. Right? It's not required to show on the paper. Because the marks is given for the right option that you take. Right? Can you tell about this? How many SIs are there? How many SIs? 2 SIs. Okay. So which SI is more and which SI is less? First SI is greater. So I can write what? SI1 minus SI2 is equal to how much? 450. First tell me what is same in both the SIs. Same sum they have said. So principal is same. Except that nothing is same, right? So P by 100 I can take out. Yes. Now, what remains? T1 R1 minus T2 R2 is equal to what? 450. Now, here you can't do T1 R1 minus T2 R2 in the mind. Okay. So what you do? Guys, I told you whenever you do any calculation, first thing to be typed is what? Whatever within the brackets. Yes or no? What is within the bracket? T1 R1. What is T1, guys? 4. 4 into 6. Press what? M plus. Then T2 R2. 3 into 5. Press what? Press what? M minus. Don't recall now only. Don't recall now only. Let it be in the memory. Guys, why am I saying so? Because this value whatever you stored in the memory would get divided on the right hand side. Yes or no? Array, what is the unknown here? Principal, right? P is the unknown. Except P on the left hand side, everything else has to go to the right hand side. You know what gets multiplied and what gets divided? Yes? Okay. What gets multiplied? 100 gets multiplied. 450 into 100 you do. Okay. Now what gets divided? Whatever you stored earlier. Press a divide by button. Then press what? MRC. Then press what? Equal. What is the unknown here? 5000. Understood. Once again. No, sorry. Or ek bar. Should I explain the calculation again? Okay. You understood first of all, SI1 minus SI2 is 450. Yes? Okay. What is common in both the cases? Principal is same. So P by 100 we have taken. T1 R1 minus T2 R2 are different. So I have kept that in the bracket and that is equal to what? 450. Now we are carrying out the calculation in one step. So you know what to type first, whatever within the brackets. So T1 R1 you do, that means 4 into 6. Press what? M plus, it's a positive value. T2 R2, 3 into 5. Press what? M minus. Don't recall the value and write on the paper. Let it be in the memory only. Because you know ultimately this T1 R1 minus T2 R2, the result would go to the right hand side and gets divided, yes or no. Okay. Now, what gets, see, what is the value that you have to find out? P, right? Except P, everything else has to go on the other side. What gets multiplied? 100 gets multiplied. So 450 into 100. Type it. Divided by. What gets divided? Whatever you have stored. Yes or no? How do you recall the value? Press MRC. Then finally press what? Equal. And the answer is 5,000. Have you all understood? Everyone. Is it clear? Yeah. With this, simple interest is done. So all types we have covered. So any problem that may be asked in the exam, you can easily solve the questions. I mean, anyway, I'll solve the previous paper question later. After completing this chapter, you will know it. Guys, let's start with compound interest. Okay. So detailed thing I'm not going to tell. What is important? See, compound interest and simple interest, the main difference is what? In simple interest, principal will not change. In compound interest, principal will change at every compounding. Compounding means what? It's a stage at which the principal changes. It's a stage at which the principal changes. So principal may change once in a year, twice in a year, or 4 times in a year, or 12 times in a year. If it changes once in a year, it is said to be what? Annual compounding. If it changes twice in a year, semi-annual or half-yearly. If it changes 4 times in a year, quarterly compounding. If it changes 12 times in a year, monthly compounding. So what's very important in compound interest problems is you see what is the type of compounding given. Accordingly, the conversion has to be done. Then do the calculation in one step in the calculator. Okay, so I shall straight away take you through the formula for CI. Guys, it's like whatever formulas we discuss now from here onwards, it's like buy one, get other. So if you know this formula, rest of the formulas are around this only. The whole chapter. Okay, not much of formulas that you have to by heart. Just the CI formula you remember, the rest of the formulas will just follow. Okay, then what is CI first of all? P into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 is CI, that is compound interest. So firstly, what is the thing that you need to type is whatever within the brackets. The priority is always the same, right? So 1 plus I value. Guys, let me tell you, 1 plus I value, you should not do what? I value, so let's say 5%, 5 divided by 100 plus 1, then raise the power to whatever. See, if you do 5 divided by 100 plus 1, the counter number would always, definitely will change. You can't keep an eye on the counter number. So you should be able to type the value of 1 plus I straight away. For that to happen, let me tell you a concept. Guys, if it is a single digit percentage, what is single digit percentage? Less than 10% is single digit percentage, yes or no? So if it is a single digit percentage, let's say 3% for that matter, it's a single digit percentage. After a decimal point, 0 should follow by what? 3. So 3% means 0.03. And most importantly, it's not I value you should be typing, rather 1 plus I. Guys, let's say I value is 0.03, okay? When you add 1 to it, where will 1 go? To the left of the decimal? So it will become what? 1.03. So result of 1 plus I is 1.03. Straight away you should be able to type. It's not like 3 by 100 plus 1 and all. Understood? Understood? So I should be always a decimal value here. It's not a percentage value that you should type. Am I clear? Whenever I is 1 digit percentage, after a decimal point, there should be 1 0. Clear? Suppose if it is less than 1 digit percentage, let's say 0.5, it's not 1 digit percentage, less than 1 digit, yes or no? So for that, after a decimal point, 2 zeros. If it is a 2 digit percentage, after a decimal point, no zeros. Say for example, 15%, it's a 2 digit percentage, yes or no? 10 or more than 10% or less than 100 will be a 2 digit percentages. After a decimal point, no zeros. So whatever digits they have given, same as it is, you have to write. Have you understood? Tell me guys, what is this 8.5%? Is it 1 digit percent or 2 digit percentage? It's a 1 digit percentage. Thinking that there are 2 digits given, it's not 2 digit percentage. It is only 1 digit. Just see whether it is less than 10%. It is less than 10%. Obviously, it is 1 digit percentage. So after a decimal point, you put a 0 followed by the given digits, 0.085. When 1 is added to it, it will become what? 1.085. Straight away, you should be able to type 1 plus I value. Nothing else in the calculator. Have you understood? Everyone understood? Okay, so CI formula is done. So guys, according to priority, 1 plus I, you would type and raise the power. You know how to raise the power? Press into, keep pressing equal until the counter number is 1 more than actual power. Then do what? Minus 1. Then into P. So this is what you should be doing in one step. In the calculator, not on the paper, right? Nothing on the paper. Am I clear? So formula for amount. Guys, formula for amount is A is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n. This is a derivation part. Let's not worry about it. Okay. So this formula is also called as appreciation formula because amount is always greater than principal. If you invest 10,000, definitely amount will be more than 10,000 only because interest is going to get added to it. Yes or no? So that is what A greater than P means. Value is getting appreciated. So this formula is also called as appreciation formula, and this formula is even useful in annuity concept. This is only the relationship between future value and present value. Let me now tell you guys, amount when do you get for your investment? In the future only. Let's say you invested for 5 years. When do you get the amount? After 5 years only. So is it present or future? Future. So amount is always future value. And investment, when do you do? Present. So the principal is always present value. So using this, you can get the relationship between what? Future value and present value. Have you understood? Have you understood? Everyone? Say yes, Joshilla. Okay. Types of compounding and the necessary conversions. Guys, annual compounding is the first compounding. What do you understand by annual compounding? Principal changes only once in a year. Okay. And please understand, if it is annual compounding, n will be same as number of years. Because say, if the principal changes once in a year, if you invest for 5 years, how many times principal will change? 5 times. So n will be same as number of years. And I will be same as interest rate per annum. Because see, if the principal changes once in a year, how will the principal change, guys? To the previous principal, the interest for the previous year will be added. That is how the principal is going to change. Yes or no? Whatever principal you invested initially, to that, the interest that you obtained for the first year will be added to get the principal for the second year. Yes or no? Now, to find out the interest, would you consider the entire interest rate per annum given for 1 year? Yes. Because it is annual compounding, principal is going to change once in a year. Definitely, entire rate of interest is applicable for the calculation. If they say 10% per annum, 10% is the interest given because principal is going to change once in a year. But if it is half yearly compounding, entire 10% will not be, let's say if it is 10% per annum, entire 10% will not be applicable for the calculation, rather half of it. Because you are calculating interest every half year, it's not every 1 year. For half year, it is not 10%, half of 10%, yes or no? Suppose if it is 10% for an example, okay, half yearly, how much percent you'll get? Only 5%, because principal changes every half year. That means interest is calculated every half year. Hope you're getting it. So that means in case of semi-annual compounding, principal changes how many times in a year? 2 times in a year. In general, n will be 2 into number of years, and I will be half of the total interest specified in the question. And for quarterly compounding, P changes how many times in a year? 4 times in a year. N will be what? 4 into number of years. I will be what? Interest rate per annum divided by 4. So whatever the number of times the n, the number of years gets multiplied to find n value, the same number of times I should be get divided. Yes or no? So I always gets divided because depending upon the type of compounding. If it is half yearly, I should get divided by 2. If it is quarterly, I should get divided by 4. If it is monthly, I should get divided by 12. Please make a note of this compoundings and the conversions. First two, have you made a note? Yearly and half yearly, quarterly and monthly, you can make a note. Done? Everyone? Problems on CI. So in CI, 3 to 4 types, not more as in case of simple interest. Okay. The first type, same kind of a data. What was first type 1 of simple interest? Principal, time and rate of interest. Here also, principal will be given. Here rate of interest is I. Time is, it's not number of years, rather number of compoundings that we take. N is what here? N is not the number of years as in case of what? Their T. Okay. Here N is basically what? Number of compoundings. What do you mean by number of compoundings? It is how many times the principal is going to change in a given period of time. That is what is N. Are you getting it? Yeah. And one more thing, let me tell you. If they don't specify the type of compounding in the question, by default, it is annual compounding. You can make a note. Default compounding is annual. So if not specified, that is monthly, quarterly or half yearly or yearly, you have to take it as what? Yearly or annual compounding only. That means principal changes how many times in a year? Only once in a year. And rate of interest will be, entire rate of interest they specify in the problem will be applicable for the calculation. Guys, quickly we shall do the calculation for this. It covers all the type of compoundings and the conversions. Okay, let's see how fast you guys do it. All right. Guys, hope you are understanding the importance of calculation that we discussed initially. Yes or no? It is very useful, right? Without that calculation and little bit of what to do first, what not next, what next. So if you don't know that, you have to write more steps on paper. That takes a lot of time, right? Hope you remember and hope you are able to do the calculation accordingly. Yes? Okay. Look at the question. Type 1 is you will be finding out CI or sometimes amount also based on the data. Data is what? Principal, time and even rate of interest. Okay. What is the principal given? 30,000 and rate of interest is 12% per annum and number of years is 3 years. So firstly, we shall do it for what? Annual compounding. Guys, conversions must happen in your mind. Please don't don't write everything, okay, on paper. So most of the things must happen in the calculator only. What is N, guys? Number of years. N will be same as number of years for annual compounding. Number of years given as 3. I will be same as interest rate per annum. How much is the interest rate per annum? 12%. 12% in decimal value is what? And you should not be writing on the paper. It's only for your understanding I'm writing. But you should straight away feed what value? What is CI formula? P into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. What value you have to type first of all? 1 plus I. What is the result of 1 plus I? 1.12. Type 1.12. Raise the power to how much? 3. How to raise the power to 3? Press into, keep pressing equal until the counter number is 4. Then do what? Minus 1. Then do what? Into 30,000. The answer is 12,000? 147.84. What will be the amount? Add principal to it. You get what? 147.84. Because anyway CI you have, just add the principal to it. You get what? You need not again use the formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n. Right? Have you understood? Shall we do it for semi-annual quickly? Okay. Can you tell me what is 1 plus I straight away for semi-annual? 1 point? How come 1.06? For half yearly, interest applicable is only half of given interest. 12%. Half of 12% is 6%. 6% means 1 digit or 2 digit? 1 digit. 1 digit means 0.06. And then add 1 to it means 1.06. Is there any difficulty in understanding and feeding the values as per this? What is the result of 1 plus I? Tell me guys. What is the result of 1 plus I? 1.06. Raise the power to. Here n will be what? Will it be 3? 6. 2 into number of years. So it will be 6. How do you raise the power to 6? Power should be, counter number should be 7. 1.06 press into, keep pressing equal until the counter number is 7. And then what? Minus 1. And then what? Into 30,000. What is CI? 12,000? 555.57. What will be amount? 42,555.57. Can you please tell me what is it for quarterly? I want the value of 1 plus I straight away. 1.03. Guys, quarterly means 1/4 of the given interest. 12 by 4 is 3%. 3% means 0.03. That means 1.03. Type 1.03 as a result of 1 plus I. Raise the power to this time. How come 12? 4 into number of years. That means 12. Please do that. Minus 1 into 30,000. 772.82. What will be the amount? 42,772.82. Can you just quickly do for monthly now? What is 1 plus I? Everyone, 1 plus I. 1.0, because I is 1%. 12 by 12 it is. 1% means 0.01. When you add 1 to it, it will become what? 1.01. Raise the power to. How come 12 into number of years? 36, right? So 1.01 press into, keep pressing faster guys. Up to 30 you do it faster. Nothing will happen to your calculator. 12,009.
23.
Amount will be 42,923.06. Everyone understood? Everyone understood that this is what I should be doing. Nothing on the paper. Nothing on the paper. Is it difficult? No? Sure? 100%? Lock kar de? Let's move on to the next question. Guys, understanding? No doubt? Sure? Absolutely no doubt? Okay. Example 2. A time by which the sum of money would double itself at 5% per annum. CI. Guys, had it been SI, it would have been which type? Type 7. How come? One amount in terms of principal. But the differentiating factor is what? CI here. Okay. So guys, what do you understand by certain sum of money doubles? A is equal to what? 2P. This is as per CI, compound interest. What formula connects amount and the principal as per CI? Appreciation formula. Yes or no? Please focus guys, this kind of questions are very common and very frequently they ask. Okay. So I would equate this to a formula of A. What is it? P into 1 plus I whole power n. Is this clear? So why did I use this formula? Tell me. Because certain sum of money doubles means A is equal to 2P. So there is amount, there is a principal. What connects amount and the principal? It is the appreciation formula. So why I have equated that to P into 1 plus I whole power. And is this clear? The first step. Now, what can be cancelled on both the sides? P can be cancelled. Now, what is the result of 1 plus I? First of all, look at the type of compounding they have given. Have they specified anything? Have they specified the type of compounding? No. If they don't specify, default is annual. So I will be 0.05. 5% means 0.05. So 1.05 raise the power to n. That should be equal to 2. Now, what to do? I mean, the technique that you would have followed in your college, I mean, first PU is take log on both sides, right? But I would not suggest you to take log on both sides. It will take a lot of time searching for the values. Okay, so what to do is option hitting. Guys, you have to be very smart in picking the option. See, please listen to me. It's not like you go from A, B, C, D in the order only. Don't do like that. Always pick a moderate option. The meaning of moderate option means there must be options, the value below that value and above that value. That is the meaning of moderate option, I mean. Okay. So can you tell me what is the moderate option that you can pick? Is there anything more than 15? No. Moderate in the sense there should be one value more than or one value less than 14. So if I can pick 14 as the moderate value, there are values lesser than 14 and more than and less than 14 as well as more than 14. Guys, let me tell you, you can't find out for power 14.2 in the calculator. Let me tell you, in the simple calculator. In the scientific calculator you can do, but scientific calculators are not allowed. Okay, so please listen to me carefully. You're plugging in n is equal to what? 14. You're plugging in n is equal to what? 14. So what will be the result of 1.05 whole power 14? Quickly do it. 1.97? 99. Okay. So is it equal to 2? Definitely not. Definitely not. It is still lesser. Yes. By how much? 1.98, approximately 1.98 it is. 0.02. It is less by 0.02. That means power has to increase a little bit. Now you press equal to once again. If I press equal to once again, you're finding it for n is equal to 15. So how much is that value? 2.07. It is not equal. Now tell me, which value is closer? 14 toward it is more closer to 14 than 15. Because if you take for power 15, the difference between the actual value and the obtained value is 0.07. If you take for 14, the difference is 0.02. So it is very closer to 14. So obvious answer is 14.2. Yes. And let me tell you guys, sometimes 0.5 years will be given. You can find it for 0.5 years. Let me tell you that. Guys, let's say you want to find it for, let's say 2 power 3.5 if you want to find out. How to find it? Please listen. Guys, you know the concept of indices, exponents. So you can split the powers. 2 power 3 into 2 power 0.5. What do you mean by 0.5? 1 by 2. Any number whole power 1 by 2 means what? Square root. So can I write directly like this? 2 power 3.5 is nothing but 2 cube into square root of 2. If you want to solve this in one step in the calculator, what to do? Type 2 cube. You know how to do 2 cube? I mean, if you know 2 cube is 8. So you can't do 8 into root 2 in the calculator. First of all, you have to type root 2. Type 2, press the root. Type 2, press the root into what? 8. Suppose if power of 2 is more, then what you do is, let's say 3 power 7.5, let's say. Then I'll tell you what to do. Guys, how do you split this? 3 power 7 into root 3. Okay, listen all of you, how to carry out this calculation is 3 power 7 you find out. How do you find 3 power 7? Type 3, press into, keep pressing equal until the counter number is 8. And then store it. Because you can't continue doing what? Into root 3. Okay, store it. Then what to do? Type 3, take the square root. Type 3, then press what? Root. Now these two values have to be what? Multiplied. You type 3, you pressed root, you got the value of root 3. Then multiply. You have to multiply, right? Press into button. Multiply what? Value stored in the memory. How do you recall? MRC. Press equal. And the result is 37. That means 88. Correct? So this is how. And let me tell you one more thing, what you can find out in the calculator. 0.5 you can find out. Even 0.25 you can find out. Not anything else other than 0.5 and 0.25 in the simple calculator. Suppose had it been 3 power 7.25. Okay. How do you split this, guys? 3 power 7 into 3 power 0.25. 0.25 means what? 1 by 4. Please understand 1 by 4 means square root twice. 1 by 4 means square root twice. You have to press the square root how many times? 2 times. Okay. Only for 0.25 you can find out in the calculator. Only for 0.25 and even 0.5. For 0.5, press the square root once. For 0.25, press the square root twice. So, you understood, right? For 0.25, how to carry out. Now, let me just explain this, guys. For 14.2, the nearest value is 0.5 or 0.25. You can check for 0.25, you'll see approximately equal to what? This value. See, guys, 1.05 whole power 14.25. Yes or no? It's very close to 14.2, right? You can get the, I mean, if not exact, 98, 99% exact value. Okay. So, tell me, guys, how do you find this out? 1.05 whole power 14 into 1.05 square root twice. Yes or no? How do you find this out in one step in the calculator? What to do first? Tell me. First multiply 1.05 to the power 14. Then what you do? M plus to store it. Then what you do? 1.25, press the root twice. Then multiply MRC. What's the result? 2.00. This is very close to 2. Understood. For 0.25 you can find out. For 0.5 you can find out. Not even if they give you like 3 months. 3 months is what? 1 by quarter of a year. So you can exactly this. Even if it is 4 months, 4 divided by 12, how much? 1 by 3 means 0.3333. So nearest answer is 0.25 is very close to 0.33 than 0.5. Yes or no? So nearest value you can plug in. Have you understood? Everyone. But actually it's not required to do 14.25 for this problem. Why? Obviously, so the answer for 14 you got is very closer to 2 than for 15. So 14.2 is the only answer, only option that is there, which is very close to 14. You need not check for 14.25. Have you understood? Everyone, go for break or solve this and go. Don't want break only. Huh? Bedwa. Okay, take this, guys. In what time rupees 1 lakh amount to rupees 1,26,677? What is 1 lakh and what is 1,26,000? This is principal and this is amount. What is the 6%? 0.06, that is rate of interest. What type of compounding it is? What type of compounding? Semi-annual. That means I have to divide or keep it 0.06 only. So it becomes what? 0.03. Okay. Now guys, what connects amount and because they have given principal and amount both as per CI, what connects these two? Appreciation formula. P into 1 plus I whole power n. Now guys, what is that we need to find out? N, right? Number of years. Alright. Okay. Now, where will P go? Denominator gets divided. So type 1,26,677 is amount divided by 1 lakh, which is 1.2667. Yes or no? When you divide amount by the principal, this is what you get. What is 1 plus I? 1.03 whole power n. Correct? Correct? Now type what to do, guys, to get the value of n? Type 1.03, press into, keep pressing equal until you get approximately 1.2666. Just tell me the counter number, 9 actually, right? The counter number is 9, actual power is 8. So n is equal to what? 8. But answer, is it 8 years? How come? How come 4 years? Because what is n? What is n for semi-annual compounding? 2 into number of years. So 8 must be equated to what? 2 into number of years. So number of years will be 8 by 2, which is 4. Guys, for this problem, you need not do all this. The reason is that they have given a data. Look at this. They're given a data. 1.03 whole power 8 is equal to 1.2667. So isn't this simply 1 plus I whole power n? Yes or no? Array, what is n? Just compare. N is equal to 8. It's a semi-annual compounding. Number of years will be half of that. That means answer is 4. By looking at the question only, you can tell the answer. Suppose if this data is not given, then you will have to work out this way. Have you understood? But most of the times they'll give you this data. If they give you this data, you need not use the appreciation formula and solve the question. What we want actually n value, right? That's what we found out even in the conventional method. Yes or no? We want n value. After getting n value, n is equal to what? 8. What do you do? That is not number of years, semi-annual compounding. Had it been what? Yearly compounding, then it would have been number of years. Since it is semi-annual compounding, 8 compoundings will happen in how many years? 4 years. So n is equal to, number of years equal to, have you understood? Everyone. Last term? No, I'll share the notes. No. We'll share the notes, don't worry. Yeah, we'll go for break now. 11:40. 10 minutes. 15, huh? Okay. Come back by 11:55 sharp. I'll be starting straight away. If you come late, it will be late for you. You'll be missing out the concept. 11:55. Please come back.